999wefm.com. WeFM News online on demand.
Welcome to WEFM'S Midday News, sponsored by Klein 15th Limited.
Make this season merry with Quartz Ready Cash. Get all you need with a cash loan of up to $20,000 and pay nothing for 90 days. That's right, you pay nothing until 2024. Plus, you can enter to win up to $20,000 in the Ready Cash Mega Money Roadshow. All you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, and 2 references. Apply online at shopquartz.com or visit your nearest Quartz or Ready Cash store and make the season merry with Quartz Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has spoken out against the discrimination locally by some against Nigerians. The Prime Minister said that while most Vincentians have welcomed Nigerians to the country with open arms, there are some who have a bias against them. We hear more from the Prime Minister.
The working people and the peasantry of this country have provided our Nigerian brothers and sisters with tremendous solidarity. I know of many, many cases. We must not, in any way at all, discriminate or hold anything against young, law-abiding people. They may be undocumented, but law-abiding in the sense that they're not involved in any criminal activity. If any choose to get involved in that kind of activity, well, the relevant institution of the state, the police, the courts will deal with that. And night will follow day in those circumstances, that the courts will address them accordingly in every material particular. But the point is this, I'm encouraging them to regularize themselves.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. The Prime Minister, during a press conference held on Friday, also called on Nigerians to regularize their status in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Prime Minister Gonsalves said that there are some 350 to 500 Nigerians here in SVG. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Bar Association has elected a new executive for the 2023 to 2025 term. According to an official release, the executive members are as follows: Charlene Zita Barnwell of Thomas and Barnwell Chambers as President, Maurice Franklin, Crown Counsel of the Attorney General's Chamber, as Vice President, Jadrick Cummings of Cardinal Law Firm as Treasurer, Patricia Marks Miners of Marks & Marks Law Firm as Secretary. Committee members include Chelsea Alexander of ZHE Chambers, Delana Horn, Senior Legal Officer at Customs and Excise Department, and Jamali John of Jamali John Law Firm Office. Immediate past President and ex officio member, Honorable Renee Baptiste. The SVG Bar Association, in their release, said that they will soon embark on several exciting projects and programs, including continuing legal education for all attorneys, public education and legislative reform, in an effort to revitalize the work of the Bar Association for the development of the profession and its engagement with the community. Still on the local scene, and Director of the National Commission on Crime Prevention, NCCP, and renowned panist Rodney Small, has touted the positive impact of the Pan Against Crime initiative. According to Small, who was at the time speaking on NBC Radio's Talk Your Talk program, the initiative has resulted in an increase of steel pan players in the nation, as well as the inclusion of the steel pan by various promoters. We hear more from Mr. Small.
What I can say, coming off of the Pan Against Crime initiative, we're now seeing a lot more persons coming to the industry. We're seeing a lot more players. We're still seeing a lot more promoters and events managers including the PAN as a part of their program of activities.
That was the Director of the National Commission on Crime Prevention, NCCP, Rodney Small. The Pan Against Crime initiative was conceptualized by Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, Prime Minister and Minister of National Security on February 20th, 2008, with the objective of using the steel pan instrument to engage young people to steer them away from criminal activities. On the regional scene, Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown has named Avery Henry acting Chief Executive Officer of the Antigua and Barbuda Airport Authority, ABAA, following the resignation of Yoletta Francis from the post. Additionally, he appointed Ruston Potter to serve as ABAA's executive chairman. The Prime Minister said both appointments are with immediate effect. Francis resigned on Monday after 2 verbal clashes with Brown. In her resignation letter, Francis said on November 9th, the Prime Minister allegedly berated her in the presence of Osmond Lake on Sunrise Airways. Tension between Francis and Brown continued as she alleged he called her the following day and accused her of raising her voice, shouting, "Girl, go home. I'm fed up of you. You are an obstructionist." She alleged Brown continued his campaign against her on his weekly radio show on Saturday. Still on the regional scene, Guyana has begun presenting its case in the International Court of Justice, ICJ, to block Venezuela's planned referendum on the disputed Essequibo, Guyana region. The Guyanese team, which is led by advisor on borders and agent in the case, Carl Greenidge, argued that the referendum is an affront to the rule of international law. In his opening remarks, Greenidge said Guyana is committed to resolving the border dispute in a peaceful way. However, they believe Venezuela has other plans, and a referendum is intended to usurp the court's authority. Guyana has asked the court to issue 5 provisional measures from the ICJ to prevent Venezuela from taking disruptive action while the court is attempting to settle the border dispute. On the international scene, the United States and Iran-backed armed groups in the Middle East are increasingly trading fire in Syria since Israel launched its brutal military assault on the Gaza Strip on October 7th. U.S. bases in Syria and neighboring Iraq have been attacked multiple times, raising fears of regional escalation as Iran has warned against the mounting death toll in Gaza. More than 11,000 Palestinians have been killed in nearly 40 days of non-stop Israeli bombing. According to Al Jazeera, Iran-backed groups have attacked U.S. forces in Syria and Iraq more than 50 times since the start of the Gaza war, with several attacks coming this week, according to U.S. military officials. The attacks involving rockets, missiles, and drones have inflicted minor damage and have not killed any U.S. soldiers. Washington has warned that the attacks must stop. It also launched retaliatory strikes, the latest of which came late on Sunday, against 2 purportedly Iran-linked sites in Syria. One hitting a training facility near Abu Kamal, with another targeting a safe house near Mayadin, both located in eastern Syria. Finally, in sports, Stefanos Tsitsipas has withdrawn from the ATP finals after suffering an injury against Holger Rune. Tsitsipas, age 25, trailed 2-1 in his green group match and after consulting with a doctor at the changeover, pulled out. The Greek world number 6 appeared to be troubled by a back problem and left the court to a few jeers from the crowd. His withdrawal from the tournament means number 1 alternate Herbert Hurkacz will replace him for his final match against Novak Djokovic. This has been WEFM'S Midday News, sponsored by Court St. Vincent Limited. I have been your presenter, Jessica Klein. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. news, and we thank you for listening.
Switch to a Ready Cash loan today. Bring your loan to us and get 25% off your interest rate. Get flexible payment terms, fast approval, and hassle-free service, so you can do all the important things you need with ease. All you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, and 2 references. Visit us in-store or apply online at www.shopcourts.com. Courts Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
At Lynch Caribbean, yes, we offer comprehensive